Did you want to? No, I didn't pick up the card. No, I got mine with my parents. What card is that? Ford Escape. Which is on the no, no, sir. True, but I don't know today. So what you guys doing?
My name on it?
Yes, sir. Most contractors but we can look at it now. It is bad.
The resolution is where, did you put it in my box, or? I need to read it.
So your friends,
You put it in my box? You put it in my desk?
Easy? Already get 2 minutes. I might do it too. Okay. That could get interesting.
well, hopefully, I think a lot of
Republicans are actually serious money.
yeah. I think for me, his speech is going to grow.
Oh, it's a huge difference. He says, I don't get around now and get
I think it's going to go down. I think it's going to go down, yeah. I think years.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, I know. I know.
30 seconds. And by the way, Butch Morgan was the same guy. That's right. Wow.
Not sure what it is.
Thanks, that says a lot.
I just ran into this one. I'm seeing the years managing
Yeah, that was a big. Good evening. The Monday, July 25th, 2016 Common Council meeting is now in session. Our invocation is by Raj Kohli from the Hindu Temple of Community Center, Michiana. Thank you, sir, for coming.
As Tim said, my name is Raj Kohli. I am representing here the Hindu Temple and Community Center of Michiana. And what I will do is I am going to say two very short prayers. The first prayer is the one that we always do right in the beginning of anything that we do. In some of the Hindu beliefs, it is believed that unless you say this prayer in any religious ritual, that religious ritual is ineffective. So that is the first prayer, very small one. I will speak in my language, then I will also translate into English. It says, Vakratunda, O Lord Ganesha, with curved trunk, Mahakaya, with large body, Surya Koti Samprabha, with the brilliance of millions of sun, Nirvignam Kurumedev, please remove all the obstacles, Sarv Kargeshu Sarvada, of any and all the works I do. I will now speak. This is the end of the prayer. I will speak it now. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samprabha Nirvignam Kurumedeva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. So that is the first prayer we say. The second prayer I am going to say is really very, very relevant to today's world. This is the prayer what we call is mantra, Shanti mantra, the lesson for the peace. Lesson on the peace. And we have been saying it since tens and thousands of the years, okay, in our Hindu mythology. Okay. Om Dhau, again I will say same thing, I will speak one sentence, little bit, then explain it, then in the end I will say, Om Dhau, there may be peace on the heaven. Antariksha Gun, there may be peace on the sky. Shanti Prithvi, on the earth there may be peace. Shanti Rabha, on the water there may be peace. Shanti Roshadhaya, on all the herbs and the medicine there may be peace. Shanti Vanaspatya, on all the greenery and the trees there may be peace. Shanti Brahman, the creator of this universe, Shanti, the peace for him. Shanti Sarvagun, Shanti Shanti Reva, Shanti Sama, Shanti Redhi. May there be peace everywhere. And not only that, may we also realize that peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. And now I will pronounce it. Om Dhau Shanti Antariksha Gun Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapah Shanti Roshadhaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishve Deva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvagam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, and that is the mantra for the peace.
Thank you, sir. Pledge allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Clerk Fowler, roll call, please.
Councilmember Preston. Excused. Randy Kelly.
Here.
Councilmember Broden. Here. Dr. Varner.
Present.
Vice President Davis.
Present.
Mr. Vorty.
Present.
Mr. Furlick.
Here.
Councilmember White.
Present.
President Tim Scott.
Present.
8 present.
Thank you. Report of subcommittee minutes, please.
Report of Subcommittee on Minutes. To the Common Council of the City of South Bend, the subcommittee has inspected the minutes of the July 11th, 2016 meeting of the Common Council and found them to be correct. Therefore, we recommend the same be approved.
Motion to accept?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Now to special business. We will hear the Dr. Martin Luther King Street Naming Committee report from the committee chair. Sir, would you please state your name and address, and then please list off your committee members, and then you can begin.
My name is Robert Smith. I am with the Dr. Martin Luther King Senior Men's Club. The committee of Charlotte Pfeiffer, Deborah Walker, Robert Smith, Sherry Richmond, Samuel Brown, Sidney Blanchet, and John Charles Bryant was put in place by City Council Resolution 4443-15 and supported by Mayor Pete Buttigieg with a letter dated November 12, 2015. That's how this committee came to be, and the members are here. Some are absent. Everyone could not make this date, but we're here. I will summarize the report that you have. The committee met and identified its expectations, which were to review the impact on residents and businesses of any proposed route, to identify the streets that are potentials to be renamed for Dr. King, and solicit public input. All meetings were open to the public, and notices and meetings schedules were handled by the city clerk's office. However, there were no members of the public present during the first 3 meetings. The committee then identified criteria that a street should have just to carry Dr. King's name. One being the street should be well maintained, the street should be of significant length, the street should not be an honorary street, and an existing or future bus route should be on the street. Therefore, the committee voted to expand the current Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive to Michigan Street on Marion Street and south to the county line on Chapin and Prairie Street, like the recommendations passed with a majority vote. Out of respect to our Native Americans, Portage Avenue was not just considered. Out of respect to our just Hispanic population, Western Avenue was not included. An electronic survey was developed and managed by the city clerk's office, and a survey in paper form was made available to all those who attended the widely held public meeting. But the impact on residents and businesses are captured in the report. But the notable ones are as follows: address changes, signage changes, cost of stationery. These mainly affect the businesses. A U.S. Postal employee was present to respond to the address changes. His response was, if a street name changes, then the post office reroutes the mail. However, they would want the individual or business to request an address change later, but the mail will still just continue to be rerouted if no change is made. Some businesses have vehicles with their names and addresses on it. That will have to be a cost that the business would have to bear if a name change takes place. Likewise, the stationery will change. That too will be a cost that the business will have to bear. However, none of these changes, none of these costs are immediate. The results of the survey are attached in the report. Like 11 streets and 2 structures were identified as having the name of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Street. Western just received 47 votes. Just expanding the existing Dr. King Drive just received 43 votes. The committee is recommending this expanding the existing Dr. King Drive. There were the significant issues that came to the surface during these meetings. One was that the majority of residents want a Dr. King Street, and they want it now. However, they don't want it to be their street. Second, race was a factor. Comments such as, where are the white people, put the street in a black-only neighborhood. And during the wrap-up meeting, 3 of the businesses present just admitted that race was an issue during the process. Like electronic survey produced conflicting just reports or results, and many duplicated the responses. An example of this conflict is 175 people were opposed to a street to honor Dr. King, and 107 were in favor of it. Within the majority of the 175 who opposed it, 94 indicated just another street. So this means that the 175 who opposed the street is really 94 less, or 81 actually opposed it. The other conclusion that can be made is that they had help in making their selection. In conclusion, it is strongly recommended that no more just committees be established to address renaming Dr. King Street. Feedback from residents and business owners who were for and against recommended a decision be made. So we are asking the council is to accept the report, and are there any questions?
With this special report, we weren't going to take any questions from council members or the public or any comment. We want to thank you for fulfilling your duties, and thank you for everything that you guys have served the city in fulfilling this resolution. I want to thank each one of you for your time and efforts. And for those who may not be aware, this decision rests solely with the mayor and Board of Public Works. And what we were doing here, what you guys were doing on the committee, was fulfilling the resolution that was brought forth last year. So we thank you for that.
Thank you.
And the report is been emailed to all the council members. It is up publicly on the website as well. So thank you all.
Great.
With that, we will move to special business and Bill. Oh, I need a motion,
Motion to
please.
change the title to Bill 1658.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ms. Fowler, would you please read 1658? Thank you.
1658, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, publicly acknowledging and commending the Monroe Circle Community Center on their 10th anniversary of service, outreach, and partnership.
Good evening, Council. My name is Oliver Davis. Address is 1801 Nash Street, South Bend, Indiana, 46613. Glad to sponsor this resolution. I'm glad you all have shown your support. This is a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, publicly acknowledging and commending the Monroe Circle Community Center on their 10th anniversary of service, outreach, and partnership. Whereas the South Bend Common Council notes that the Monroe Circle Community Center, known as MC3, is located at 526 West Western Avenue in the city of South Bend, and proudly uses the motto, a place where neighbors love neighbors. Whereas MC3 early beginnings started in 2001 when two volunteers from Granger Community Church were given permission to mentor children at the Monroe Circle public housing complex, which became Sun City Kids, and together they partnered to work so that this area of South Bend would develop into a vibrant community that cares for, dignifies, equips, and guides each other. And whereas MC3 continued to network with the Greater Community Church, purchasing the Co-op 65 Food Pantry in 2005, and with the Greater Community Church beginning their efforts to acquire adjoining buildings, which resulted in donated funds, labor, and in-kind gifts, community, and business partnerships, whereby MC3 was renovated and historically restored in 2007. And whereas MC3 has dedicated itself to help each adult and each child living on South Bend's near west side take their next step toward a full and meaningful life, to add value and to encourage and help each person discover their worth for the purposes of developing a vibrant, safe, and strong community with strong values, which focuses on a framework of values whose letters reflect V, vocational, A, art expression, L, leadership, and spiritual life development, U, unique health and wellness, and E, education empowerment. And whereas today, MC3 provides a host of multifaceted opportunities in areas creatively and enthusiastically hosted by volunteers and community partners, some of which include Open Cafe, open every Tuesday through Thursday mornings for free coffee, internet access, television, music. Food pantry and personal care item pantry, serving the residents of 5 public housing neighborhoods, Rabbi Schumann, Monroe Circles, the Quads, Westcott Tower, and Laura Court. Financial Peace and Literacy provides in partnerships with First Federal Savings Bank. Adult Basic Education, High School Equivalency, open enrollment for 16 years olds and up. Construction, Carpenter's Hands, developing a volunteer construction team. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana as follows. Section 1. The South Bend Common Council proudly recognizes Monroe Circle Community Center on their 10th anniversary, as they continue to engage with many community partners and volunteers, focusing on building a vibrant community that cares for, dignifies, equips, and guides each other as they pursue value. Section 2. The Common Council notes that MC3 also hosts 12 community-wide events each year, hosts weekly Narcotics Anonymous programs, hosts e-senior care, enabling seniors to connect with technology, and offers a host of other activities through Aging in Peace, focuses on exercise, education, nutrition, and social activity. The Council wishes MC3 continued success as they provide needed outreach for the betterment of South Bend. Section 3. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its adoption by the Common Council and approval by the Mayor. So at this time, I'd like to introduce our teams from MC3, and would they please, who's going to do all the speaking? Who's going to lead us out? You lead us out, just share your name, okay, and then go ahead and give us your...
Good evening, Council. I'm Jonathan Anderson. I'm the Director of Monroe Circle Community Center. It's an honor to stand before you again. I will say it is very strange to speak on the front end of this meeting. I'm a time watcher, a time clock watcher, so it's kind of fun. I have a whole talk here, but you know what? I'm going to, there are people behind me that want to talk, so I'm going to skip ahead. I want to thank the council for such a high honor tonight. Thank you, Councilman Oliver Davis, for your initiative in this process. I really do appreciate it. I want to thank Granger Community Church for the thousands of volunteers and the millions of dollars it has donated to renovate the 500 block of Western Avenue. I'd like to thank the MC3 staff, neighborhood leaders, GCC staff. Above all, I would like to thank God. Community development is very difficult and challenging work. It's difficult to navigate the CPS process with a heartbroken mother, or when a heroin addict whispers in your ear that they have slipped back into addiction, or when you do the funeral for a premature baby of 6 months. It's challenging, and I often ask myself, why do I keep doing what I'm doing? Why do all these volunteers keep doing what they're doing? And the truth is because God commands us to love the poor. That's the truth. Psalm 127:1 says, "Unless the Lord builds a house, the work of the builders is wasted. Unless the Lord protects a city, guarding it with sentries will do no good." And so by God's help and by God's grace, we look forward to another 10-year stretch where we can help love our neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Johnny Hunt, and I live in the 501 building. Back in the 70s, I lived at 501 Scott Street. I grew up pretty rough, and I went for a vacation, and now I'm back to give back to the community that I messed up. And now, thanks to John and the community, I'm back on the right track, and I will remain that 10 years, and a little bit over if I can make it. But thank you for this award, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.
I'm Rachel Trevelyan Phillips, and I volunteer at the center. I'm kind of like a signed-in person for our pantry. Make sure that everyone is signed in, get what they need. I start volunteering there because I went there one day, and Jonathan is like a beacon in our community. He's always smiling, he's always happy, he has so much love. He stands over our community every morning at 6 o'clock praying for our community right in there. And he has a heart for this community. He has a love for the community and the children. And we're behind him 100%. We have a lot of children in our community that is falling through the cracks. We're there to seal up that crack and to help our children become part of our community. Help our children be a solution and not a problem to that community. And if it wasn't for MC3, I don't know what some of those tenants and residents would do. And we just thank you so much for honoring him today.
Thank you.
Thank you, good council. My name is Ted Bryant. I'm the pastor of Family Ministry at Granger Community Church.
And it's been an honor and a privilege for Grange Community Church to partner with MC3 for 10 years. It has been quite a journey, and those properties, and more so the people that have been transformed in the last 10 years, is truly miraculous. And we fully support and continue to support Jonathan as the director and his team down there, as well as all the neighbors. Many of them who have been raised up into leadership positions at the center as soon as just the last 18 months or so, as a way of truly providing leadership to everyone in those neighborhoods. And so, again, thank you so much for the tremendous honor, and we look forward to continued partnership.
Anyone else?
We're good. We thank you again. It's been an honor working with Jonathan, and we're going to continue to support them, and we're very grateful for all your service here in our community. Now to the council.
Council will take comments, starting with Ms. White.
Okay, I would like to thank each and every one of you, MC3 Granger Church, for your investment, not only from a financial perspective, but most important for holistic, looking at the whole person, and for being able to pour back into individuals who definitely need the support. So I'm very grateful. Would like to also thank you for allowing our sorority to come into the building. We had a wonderful opportunity of reading to the children. They were very energetic. And so, but I would love to say that we will be back on a continuous basis, because it is very important that not only MC3, but the community comes together and help to support as well. So thank you so much for your outstanding work.
Congratulations on 10 years, and thank you for all your service.
Thank you as well. It's so vital and so needed in the community, and were it not for you stepping up and doing that work, who knows what the consequence might be. But thank you very much.
Most communities find they have so many needs, it's absolutely impossible for government to solve them all. So it's so important that folks, groups, organizations, churches find their niche. Apparently you found yours, and it's been a wonderful result. Thank you so much for that, because you can't legislate success like this. You can only hope for it, and you provided the hope for these folks. So thank you so much.
I'm going to share a date with you, July 4th. I was in Hammond, Indiana, at a naturalization ceremony for a family member, I'm going to say. It's an Iraqi individual who came to our country 5 years ago, and it was your organization, your group, that reached out, gave the loaves of bread and the fish, also taught her how to fish. Her GED was obtained at your location, and then right across the street, child care. So, naturalized citizen on July 4th, so what a cool thing to combine. But, so one success story, but I'm sure that's just multiplied, as you know, and it drives your continued devotion. So thank you on behalf of that. So your church and this service intersects with my church, and our family specifically, but even more importantly, your work really does benefit the community. So I wanted to fill you in on that loop that you may not even be aware of. So thank you very much.
I don't think I can offer a better story than that. That's quite a testament. And stories like that, and I'm sure there are many, as well as the transformation physically of the neighborhood, which gives neighbors a sense of pride and community, is so important. So I can't thank you enough for the work that all of you are doing.
And finally, I can't top any of that either, but thank you so much. And, you know, it's been a reoccurring theme with me this year. I've made this speech probably a dozen times already, but it all starts at this. It starts at the community and the residential area. You want to get something done, it starts with the people. Dave, Dr. Garner is perfectly right. Can't legislate this. This comes from the heart, comes from the passion of the people within our city wanting to do something to improve someone else's life and better. You can't do it any better than that. It is truly grassroots. I'll say that, I hope, 1,000 more times by the end of this year. It is grassroots, and it begins with you guys. And Jonathan, I know all about what you're talking about on the CDC side, so great. Thank you so much. At this time, we'll open up to the public. Is there anybody from the public wishing to come forward, speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak against? Turn it back to council.
We adopt this by acclamation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Good job. Thank you so much.
We like your start and Great work.
I'm used to that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Probably see you at the food pantry. Yes.
Thank you.
I can't tell unless you...
They have what, they're bougie t-shirts, do
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Sometimes, yeah. And you still try to read it, you know.
Come on. It's a tradition, right? Gavin can't really stay in that shit. Okay, at this time, there is no report from city offices. The mayor is represented by James Mueller. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for committee of the whole. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? You can hand that down, that's
The Committee of the Whole is now in session. This is the portion of the council meeting where the full council meets as a committee. During each bill, the public will have an opportunity to comment either in favor or against. You will have a limit of 5 minutes during that time to make your comments. Would the city clerk please read Bill 2816?
Bill 2816, public hearing on an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 1311 North Ironwood Drive, South Bend, Indiana, Councilmanic District Number 4 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Is there a committee report?
The Zoning and Annexation Committee met this afternoon, and we're bringing this bill to you with a favorable report.
Thank you. Presenter, please state your name and address.
Keith Chapman, Area Planning Commission, with offices on the 11th floor of this building. This property is located on the west side of North Ironwood. This is a view looking from the south. The petitioner is looking to rezone from SF1 single family and 2 family district to OB office buffer district. To the north there is an office building zoned OB office buffer, as well as a single family residence zoned SF1 single family and 2 family district. And to the south and the west there are also single family homes zoned SF1 single family and 2 family district, and across Ironwood there is a home zoned SF1 single family and 2 family district. This is a view looking west across Ironwood Drive. This is a view looking southwest towards the rear portion of the parking lot. This is the site plan of the site. This comes to you with a favorable recommendation from the Area Planning Commission by removing the access on Ironwood Drive and connecting through the established office properties to the north. Rezoning the site to OB Office Buffer District will allow for a reasonable extension of services provided in this area while minimizing the impact on the residential neighborhoods in the immediate area. At this time, I can answer any questions that you might have.
And actually, we'll move to the petitioner, and then we'll open up questions for both of you. Please state your name and address.
Mike Danch from Danch Harner Associates, 1643 Commerce Drive here in South Bend, representing the petitioner. As Keith had mentioned, what we're just asking for is to rezone the property at 1311 North Ironwood to the OB district. Allridge Insurance, as we had mentioned earlier, owns the property directly north of this. They would like to expand their office. They have purchased this piece of property. As part of the rezoning process, they would go ahead and renovate that existing single-family home into an insurance office. Access to this, as we had told council, will be off the private, or I should say the public alley, which is behind the property. As part of this process, there was a driveway that is located at the front portion of the site, which went out to Ironwood. That will be closed and removed. So the access will be from the north, just north of the Allridge Insurance property now that they have. There's another drive that goes out to Ironwood, so there would be actually 2 access points into this piece of property for that back parking lot. Also, what we had done through the Area Plan Commission is we had received 3 variances. As shown on the site plan, what we had done is that we were going to have vinyl fencing along the northwest and a portion of the south property line to screen this property from the adjacent single family. Also along the south property line where the parking lot is located, we're adding additional evergreen screening, and that's shown on the site plan. A lot of the existing trees will remain, and we are adding additional trees along the frontage for Ironwood and along a portion of our north property line. Also, I mentioned this piece of property, if you've been out there, does not have a sidewalk in front of it. As part of the development process for this, moving it over to an insurance office, the actual owners of this property will be required to put a brand new sidewalk in along that entire frontage to extend that sidewalk farther to the south. And if you have any questions for me, I'd be glad to answer.
Any questions from council for presenter or petitioner?
Could you talk about the signage?
The signage for this, actually, Allridge Insurance has a sign for their insurance agency, which is just to the north. Under the OB category, they would also be allowed to have a sign, but it would be minimal, and I'm not even sure they would have one for this particular site since both of the buildings are going to be Allridge Insurance.
Okay, thank you.
Seeing no other questions, we'll open up to the public. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor? Anyone from the public wishing to speak in opposition? He's not coming up to speak.
No.
Okay, sorry. With that, the public portion is now closed. Is there a recommendation from the council?
I move that Bill 28-16 be sent to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Would City Clerk please read 3116?
3116, public hearing on an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 314 and 318 St. Peter Street, 401 Notre Dame Avenue, and 325 St. Francis Street, Councilmanic District Number 4 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Do I have a motion to accept the substitute?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Is there a committee report?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The Zoning and Annexation Committee met this afternoon, and we bring the substitute bill to you with a favorable report.
Thank you. Presenter?
Keith Chapman, Area Plan Commission, with offices on the 11th floor of this building. This property is located, or these properties are located just south of Wayne. It's the site of the former Transpo. This is a view looking from the south. Track 1, 2A, and 3 are looking to be rezoned to MF1 Urban Corridor Multifamily District, and Track 2B is looking to be rezoned to SF2 Single Family, Two Family District. To the north of Track 1 are single family homes that are zoned MF1 Urban Corridor Multifamily District. To the west, there's an office building zoned MU Mixed Use. And to the south and to the east of Track 1 is vacant land zoned SF2 Single Family, Two Family District. And Track 2, to the north of Track 2 is office building zoned MU Mixed Use. And to the south of Track 2 and 3 is vacant land zoned SF2 Single Family, Two Family. And to the east of Track 2 and 3 is SF2 Single Family, Two Family. Those are single family residents. And the Robert Henry Corporation is zoned LI. This is a view looking northwest across Northside Boulevard, and this is a view looking southwest across Francis Street. This is the site plan, and this comes to you with a favorable recommendation from the Area Planning Commission. Redevelopment of the site for single-family and townhome-style residential will strengthen the existing Howard Park neighborhood and address the demand for urban housing as identified by local developers, real estate professionals, in the Howard Park neighborhood plan.
Thank you. Is there a petitioner?
Good evening. My name is Brian McMorrow of Avon Marsh Consultants here in South Bend on behalf of Riverwalk LLC and Gregory Gluchowski. The particular tract of land, which is about 11 acres on 3 different blocks just east and north of the St. Joe River, was the subject of a similar petition about a year ago. And the council and the area plan supported the rezoning of the properties to allow for a mix of residential housing types. What has prompted our visit this evening is that the most extreme northeasterly corner of the property between Francis and Notre Dame Avenue was purchased. It was a 1.1 acre piece of ground that's today the Michiana Brick Company, and that property has been added to the assemblage of properties that our client had, the former Transpo yard. So a year ago, we had a similar mix of properties with a total of 64 dwelling units, subject to final engineering and review by the city engineer. Today, if this plan were approved, we think it can accommodate up to about 84 dwelling units. So there's a modest shift upwards in number of housing units, primarily due to the additional property. The plan is to have the more dense zoning closer to Wayne Street and have the zoning drop down to a lesser density along the river. But we feel we're extending the single-family zone along St. Peter Street and again along Notre Dame Avenue while extending multifamily down from Wayne Street on the north. With this petition to rezone portions of these properties is to apply the same front and side yard variance on the single-family lots, the 2 lots along Notre Dame Avenue, with the front and side yard relief that is granted.
Are there any questions from council for
Do you
presenting
know
or petitioner?
already how much some of those, the costs of the multi-family
The
units would
price
be?
points haven't been set yet, so no, I don't have that information.
Joe?
So, next to the existing commercial building, so type here on the bottom left of the screen,
Oh, right.
are those proposed buildings, or was that in the initial?
This
Site
remains
plan.
unchanged from last time. There was these townhomes along the river that, again, conceptual.
Okay.
Site plans haven't been submitted
So
yet,
those
but that
are-
remains unchanged from last year's petition.
And then how about the street, is it St. Peter?
St.
Extending
Peter
down, where are we
is
at in
the
that
street
process?
here. Right, St. Peter is the westernmost street.
Yes, has that been approved to go all the way through yet? Or-
It has.
Has, okay.
And when the closing took place earlier this year, that right-of-way has been granted to the city, so it exists.
Great.
As most of you probably know, there's a lot of taxpayer money at work to separate the storm and the sanitary sewer in that neighborhood. That work should be done later this summer or early fall, setting the stage for us to develop these lots for new homes.
Dr. Martin?
You pretty passively mentioned that the setbacks or the grantings are similar to Notre Dame Avenue, so just, is it 25 foot?
It's 25 feet in the front and 15 on the side.
So you've got 15 on each side of
Right.
each piece of property, so the lot width is going to be...
We have 51-foot lot widths, the larger homes, and we have some lots, like these here, are going to be 31-foot wide.
Okay, thank you.
Seeing no other questions, we'll open up to the public. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor? Anyone from the public wishing to speak in opposition? Seeing no one, back to the council. What's your pleasure?
Move for favorable recommendation.
Second.
All those,
Substitute, second. Did you substitute?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. I will now entertain a motion to resolve from the committee of the whole.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Full council now back in session. Ms. Fowler, would you please give third reading to 2816?
2816, third reading on an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 1311 North Ironwood Drive, South Bend, Indiana, Councilmanic District Number 4 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Move the passage of 2816.
Second.
Ms. Fowler?
Randy Kelly,
Aye.
Councilmember Broughton. Aye. Dr. Varner.
Aye.
Vice President Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Vorty.
Aye.
Mr. Furlick.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
President Tim Scott.
Aye.
8 ayes.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to amend 3116? You want to read it first?
For the substitute vote.
Amend as was the committee of the whole is what I was trying to finish saying.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Can we now hear
Motion for
the...
passage.
No, we have to have a reading.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now can we have Ms. Fowler read the amended version of 3116?
3116, third reading on an
Go ahead.
Third reading on an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 1314 and 318 St. Peter Street, 401 Notre Dame Avenue, and 325 Francis Street, Councilmanic District Number 4 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Motion for passage.
Second.
Ms. Fowler?
Councilmember Broughton. Aye. Dr. Varner.
Aye.
Vice President Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Vorty.
Aye.
Mr. Furlick.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Randy Kelly.
Aye.
President Scott.
Aye.
8 ayes.
Thank you. And on resolutions, can I entertain a motion on 1657, please?
Motion to move this bill to August the 22nd.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. There are no first readings under unfinished business. Ms. Fowler, 3516, please.
They do not have to be read.
No?
Motion to send 3516 to ZNA for September 12th and set for third reading on September 26th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion to send 3916 to ZNA for August 8th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Anything else under unfinished business?
Do we need to restate what was the things we talked about the back? Or we already have?
No, I think we're good on that.
Okay, cool.
I will announce food and beverage. There will be the next public meeting on food and beverage tax. This is for citizen input. We will recap what was stated in the first meeting. This is between all three councils, the county council, Mishawaka Council, and South Bend Council will be here Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And this is time for citizen input on food and beverage. We will have one more meeting. That will be August 31st in the same type of format. So Wednesday, 6 o'clock, this room for input on food and beverage tax. Anything else on unfinished?
I would like to make the announcement that starting this Thursday, members of the Common Council will begin to walk various neighborhoods and districts. The purpose is to connect with our citizens on a more personal level, but also to have opportunity to look at some of the various areas within the district. The first district will be First District, and we will start our walk at 6 p.m. If you want information in regards to the route that we will be walking, you can get that information from the clerk's office. We will have district walks in the 6th District, the 3rd, as well as the 2nd District. Our goal is to conclude our initial walks sometime in September, and we will have a trolley ride with all of the council members to look at some of the key areas within our community.
Okay, thank you. Anything else on unfinished? Seeing none, new business. Any new business from the council members? Seeing none, we'll turn it over to the privilege of the floor. Privileged floor, this is where individuals who wish to address the council must state their name and residential address. Individuals are limited to 3 minutes only. The maximum time limit for this portion is 30 minutes. Individuals may address only issues which the city has jurisdiction, and individuals shall not be permitted to address topics which the council heard on the previously on agenda. Anything on the agenda tonight you cannot speak about. Anything that might come up will assign to committee members, committees, or get in touch with the city administration. Go ahead, state your name and address, and begin.
My name is Samuel Brown. I live at 222 East Navarre Street in the city of South Bend. I represent Citizens United Watchdog Group. And I really don't have the full report in front of me. I got it laying on my desk. I haven't researched it, but it said that the SWAT team and the police was called to Western Manage to take care of the incident where a gentleman was wielding a knife and the public felt it was in danger. I want to commend the police. From what I understand, that the police and the SWAT team was able to handle this without a doubt and try to get the person taken to the medical attention. I want to commend Michael Jordan. He's a person that's well known for his basketball contribution to the whole world. But Michael have donated $1 million to 2 organizations to try to have a better relationship with the police in various communities. And I would like for other organizations to take this lead, because every incident is not going to turn out good. But this incident out on Western Manor, from what I got, did turn out where the city won. And that's the only way we're going to build trust. All policemen are bad, we know that. They got a dangerous job. And let the community and the police have a dialogue where they're doing their job and we're all behind them. This thing ain't going to work until that happens. And I want to commend the police and Chief Wachowski and tell those guys to keep doing a fine job.
Thank you. Next name and address, please.
Jason Beniki Critchlow, 3822 West 4th Street, South Bend, Indiana. It's great to see a ton of construction going on across the city in terms of the road repairs. However, I would be interested to know if we're funding those with our wheel tax to pay off that bond dollars in lieu of routine repavements of roads that are practically becoming undrivable in key critical areas. You know, I drive down Sample Street, down Jefferson every day, and there are just parts of those roads where I get a better suspension test on my car than you can get on the TV ads that are on television showing me the newest, latest, greatest trucks anymore. You know, we pay $25 per year on every vehicle we own, plus our regular routine income taxes, local option income tax, county option income tax, etc., and we're just not seeing the improvements in the roads. So what I want to know going forward is, are we wasting our wheel tax dollars to pay off all these bonds for all this new construction, as opposed to using that wheel tax dollars to fund just improving the current roads to make them a much more drivable situation?
Thank you. Thank you. Not seeing anyone else?
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Oh, yeah, sorry. I removed my motion to adjourn. Yeah, I know.
Very close. Name and address, please.
Thank you. I need it.
Nick Perry, 901 East Fox Street, South Bend, Indiana, 46613. Member of the founding group of and the steering committee of SOAR, Southeast Organized Area Residents, newest neighborhood association in the area. And that's why I've given you folks this concept of the bicentennial. That's from the United Way Associations of Indiana. It's a great idea. My concept is to put that in Ravenna Park, which is part of the SOAR neighborhood, and becomes the Bowman Bio Zone and Bison Bio Zone. Okay, that is one thing we'll go into a little bit later. The thing that's really got me here tonight is the fact that for the last dozen to 15 years, as long as there has been concerts at Sites Park and Potawatomi Park, for the comfort of the patrons, there have been porta potties. And every January, 1st of January, I start looking forward to the 1st of June to go down to Sites Park and listen to the concerts. Other friends go to Potawatomi. But this ill-advised, ill-conceived, and inhumane new policy of the new park director is literally bordering on insanity. $750,000 for river lights. People come from out of town. River rafting. People come from out of town. Kayaking. People come from out of town. We bring people down to Sites Park and to Potawatomi Park and other places to show them what we have. And according to the mayor's letter, which of course he doesn't really write anymore, so somebody in the park department must have, in 2014 you guys authorized $5 million for the parks department, and the last sentence in paragraph 3 says, this summer we're beginning to see the results of those efforts. Yeah, no porta potties. This is like wild. And the inhumanity and the inhumane aspect of it is, I should not have a Vietnam vet that I met on 4th of July at Sites Park have to go from Sites Park across the bridge, through the parking lot. Supposedly you can use the Emporium. He can't get those doors open because he's on his electric cart. Before, he could pull right up to the porta potty, step off, get in. I mentioned this to Aaron Perry at the mayor's night out. I spent the whole evening there and talked to him.
Sir, you have 30 seconds.
Okay. Bottom line is, gotta get porta potties. The precedent's been set for over a dozen years. And I won't even talk about the 1 penny on the dollar that the city of South Bend is getting for the aerial park in Rum Village. I thought it was a great idea until I found out that this was the worst deal since either TPP or NAFTA, or when $24 at the island of Manhattan.
Your time is up.
South Bend should have more than 1 penny on the dollar for somebody using the People's Park.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Now my motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, good speech. Yeah, we've been sitting on that for a long while, more than that. We've been sitting
Are the Vikings coming or not?
He's started the initiative. I'm working with the Bowman Free people.
Okay.
Bowman Free.
Yeah.
And